Yo, what's up guys? It's Lando. You can follow me on Twitter at LandoFF. We are on Instagram and Twitter, our main account at snap_fantasy. I am here today to discuss some bad news, and that's Saquon Barkley going down with an apparent ACL injury. This past week was rough for injuries, and unfortunately your second overall draft pick was no exception. I'm going to talk you through how to get through this, what to do, who to add, and really how to go forward from here on out. Because the one thing you cannot do is quit on fantasy football. It's not over. It's a long season. Look at all those injuries happen that in 1 week you need to keep on going, because injuries can happen to every team. Your opponent's teams are not exceptions here. So number one, Dion Lewis is going to be one of the hottest ads this week. And if you didn't get first priority, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Dion Lewis had 10 carries for 20 yards. And we know the backup in New York is not going to be hyper valuable. He's going to be startable if he's the only one there, but he's not going to be someone that wins you fantasy weeks. He's a flex play at best if he gets in the end zone. So we did also get word today that Devonta Freeman is meeting with the Giants. This is going to show how set they are on winning this year, or if they're just going to let it go as it is and not really sign a running back and just go with Dion Lewis and Wayne Gallman. So maybe it's going to be Devonta Freeman. If they do, check your waiver wires right now. He's not signed to a team. He's still a free agent possibly in your leagues. So add him right now. Pause this video and add him right now. Another strategy, if you cannot get one of these waiver wire guys, because there's a few of them, you could potentially add Darrell Henderson, but that's not great. What we saw week 2 is that all the hyper added waiver wire players from week 1 did not perform. You saw Nyheim Hines not perform. You saw Peyton Barber not perform. Adrian Peterson did not much. Frank Gore got a bunch of carries but didn't do much. Jamal Williams is an option on the waiver wire. Kerryon Johnson might be an option on your waiver wire. Gio Bernard is involved a little bit. But none of these guys are going to do much for your fantasy team. So right now we have the option of trading. You need to get players that could produce on your fantasy team and help you get into the playoffs and hopefully win a championship that have high upside if they end up popping off on a good matchup. So right away, the number one player I'm going to try to trade for is going to be Devin Singletary, because he has not performed very well in the first few games. And he has a great opportunity. He only had 6.3 fantasy points and 7.6 fantasy points. This is, I believe, in standard leagues. He had 9 and 10 attempts the first 2 games. So he is a prime chance that whoever owns Devin Singletary does not want Devin Singletary. Zach Moss is getting a lot of looks, but I do believe Singletary still has upside as the season goes on, as long as he's healthy. So that's one guy that I like, that I'd be willing to buy. Mark Ingram is one of the guys that I said that it might be hard to get now. He got some opportunity. He had 9 attempts the second game, but he had 10 attempts the first game. He was just super inefficient at it. He had 55 yards and a touchdown this past game. So he's an opportunity to buy low on a guy like that, and he can start on your fantasy roster, and then you're not too concerned about it. One rookie that I really like that maybe I'm concerned about because the offense is really bad, but that's going to be DeAndre Swift. This is going to be a higher risk acquisition where Detroit Lions seem to be in shambles. Kerryon Johnson got more work. We saw Adrian Peterson still get carries but just be super inefficient at it. Maybe if they keep losing, they're just going to sit or release Adrian Peterson and let DeAndre Swift finally take the helm. Week 1, he had lost the game for the team, but he still got the target in the end zone. I think this is a guy they do like. I just want him to get more work, and right now is a chance to buy low on DeAndre Swift. Next, I suppose you could look at a guy like Ronald Jones. I'm not a big fan of Ronald Jones myself. It's going to be a Leonard Fournette show a little bit. It's good. That offense just seems to be, they don't really know the direction that they want to go in, whether it's going to be a high volume passing offense or a run first approach with a tandem of Fournette and Ronald Jones. So that's a guy I'm not really looking at. Other guys you could potentially that had good weeks that you want to look for Jerick McKinnon on your waiver wire. He's going to be a high, he's going to be a chance to get some work, especially with injuries of Raheem Mostert and Tevin Coleman. Jerick McKinnon is explosive. He's been explosive for a long time, but he just hasn't been healthy. So he might be a chance to, if you got first priority or second priority, you might be able to get Jerick McKinnon, and he could be a really good, valuable asset on your team. They have the 49ers, despite losing Jimmy Garoppolo, have a really good matchup in the next 3 weeks with the Giants, the Eagles, and the Dolphins. So potentially look at that. There's always Mike Davis. We're not sure the severity of the Christian McCaffrey injury, but I don't think it's too severe. So the one thing I can do, guys, is do not give up on your fantasy team. Do not just let it go to the wayside, and don't set your lineup or leave a running back spot empty, because this is the fun of it. We have still a ton of football to watch. Your team could sneak in the playoffs, and once you get in the playoffs, any single team can win. All right, guys, if you haven't already and you like this video, like it down below. Comment on who you're adding or who you are trading for in fantasy football. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys.